So form validation library, this contain two methods, a set rules method as well as run method. What is a set rule method? What is a run method? So we have to talk about it. So if you want to work with the form validation, first of all, the library should be loaded. No? Yesterday, we worked with the email library. We loaded the library something like this of load of library. So this is the method we have to load the library. So here we can pass the name of the library. Yesterday, we worked with email. So we loaded email library like this. Now today, I have to work with the form validation, form underscore validation. Okay, right. Library loaded. Once this library loaded, so in this library we have two methods, set rules. So these are the major, a lot of methods are there, not only two methods, we have some other methods also, but I'm talking about the two major methods which we are going to use in the validation, set rules method and run method. If you want to access those methods, we have to something like this, guys, form underscore validation of the method set underscore rules. By using this set rules method, we can define the rules on an input field, guys. I mean, when you guys are entering an email ID, that email should be valid email ID. If that email ID already exists in the DB, we don't want to allow, right? Email should be in a valid format, mobile number, 10 digits only, right? So exactly 10 digits, and I don't want to allow any characters. You want to do this kind of validations, right? So if you want to define those rules, so on the input form fields, we have to use a set rules method, guys. After that, for every input field, we are going to define some rules. So this method have three parameters actually. One is here name of the input field, guys. Name of the input field, input box or whatever it may be, FIELD, name of the input field, right? Label. What is this label? You know, to display error message. Label to display error message, something like this. Here the rules, guys. Rules. So framework is providing some predefined rules. The rule list we can find in the manual. Those rules we have to provide here, guys. So for example, the rules will look like this, guys. Here, for example, required is a rule. Required rule, if we can set it, so that field is mandatory. You have to enter some value. Now, and if you want to add one more rule, so I want to take something called min underscore length, min length of 3. So then what happened here? The name should at least 3 characters, minimum 3 characters should be there. You want to add something called max underscore length. Max length is going to be 25, maximum 20, minimum 3. So this is how rules we can apply. Each and every rule separated by pipe symbol, guys. Do you know, just enter button top, so our backspace button bottom, we can see pipe symbol, right? We have to use the pipe symbol. This is how the multiple rules are separated. See, for one input field, we can apply multiple rules. That is required, and that is number only, that is numerical only, that is alphanumeric only. Like this, we can enter all these things, guys. Okay, now, right. So this soft load of library form validation and the same set rules method, right? So here, see, we can define multiple rules, guys, on an input field. Once offer this all the input fields, guys, give me a minute, please. Okay, guys, now you can see here, these are the rules how we can apply on the input fields, right? Okay, so for this, what I want to do, let me create a very basic form. Okay, so open your editor. I'm using NetBeans, right? From last session onwards, we are using NetBeans. For this, we have to create one controller. Let me create a controller quickly. New class, PHP class. What is the name of the class we can take, guys? Here, let me take contact directly. Contact.php is my controller. CONTACT. Contact.php. Yeah, this is my controller. Let me create the controller quickly. A controller class will be created automatically for us. Right. Can you see this is template will be provided by this class. This is now you can use class contact extends. We know that every controller extends with the CA underscore controller. CONTRO controller. Okay. So this is controller. Contact extends CA controller. So let me write index function also, public function index. So this is the base function, we know that, right? So we didn't write anything here. So generally we have to create a contact form, right? Generally, how can we create a contact form? That is a view file, right? Generally, a HTML file should be created, that should be loaded here, guys. But this is what I'm going to do. Even if we can call this, we can't get any output, right? Localhost. What is the project name? Localhost slash news, NUWS, news slash name of the controller is contact, right? Hit enter. We are getting but empty. But why we are getting empty? We didn't put anything inside of it, right? Do one thing, create a form and load that form here, guys. Where we can create the form? Definitely there should be a view, right? Go to the views folder. This is the views folder. Right click and create a new PHP file. This is not class, just PHP file. This is going to be contact underscore view.php file, guys. Okay, so here let me take completely HTML, open HTML tag. Everything we have to create a form, right? HTML head tag, open head tag, close head tag. This is going to be title. So contact form, right? Body tag, open body tag, close. Contact form. Then so here remember we have to create form now. This is form tag open, form tag close. What is a form method? Form method equal to something, action equal to something. Generally we will provide you this, but for creating this form tag we have a method. Do you remember what is a method? So when I'm discussing helpers, I given this. Do you remember, guys? Open PHP, close PHP. Here I'm just writing here, try to see echo form underscore open. Yes, this is the method. Form open. What this form open method will do? This form open method will create a form tag now. So can you see? And form close. Form open and form close. In the middle of it, we can create the form fields, guys. So remember, this is the form open. Okay, now I want to see the output of this, guys. If you want to see the output of this, can I view this? Can I call this view directly? No, definitely this view should be loaded into your controller. This of load of the view. What is the name of the view, guys? Contact view, CONTACT, contact underscore view. This is the name of the view. Now you can refresh it. Now you are going to load the view. Can you see in the, you are calling the controller. What is controller is doing? Controller will call the index method. Index method, what are you doing? You are calling a view. And this is the view just now we created. Refresh it, you are going to get error. What is that error? You know, call to undefined function form open. Why undefined function? Remember always, if you want to access this form open, you have to load the helper now. Did you load the helper anywhere in the controller? No. Right, go and load the helper. The list of load HEL here helper. What is the name of the helper? Form helper. Now you can refresh it. You can get that error. You can press F12 and you can check the inspect element also. There we can see form tag is created. What is the action? Same page, method and UTF-8 is also added automatically. This is how we can work with the things, guys. Now, so form we have to create now. Let me take a table tag here. Table tag open, table tag close. Let me create the form quickly. Right, I already created a form, guys. Let me copy the form here. So you already know, right, how to create the contact form. So we don't want to do such a manner, right? This is the contact form I just created. Let me copy this table TRTD up to here, right? I'm just copying this contact form here. Let me keep it here. Why should I? So I think you already know, right? Contact form. How can we create a contact form? This is the way of creating a contact form. Just I kept it into a table. Let me design this. I mean, let me align this properly. Perfect. I think it was aligned now. So now what is the next thing here? Let us adjust all the fields properly because we copy pasted, right? Some indentations. Our code should look good, guys, finally, right? So this is how we can create, right? We don't want these many fields. I don't want to maintain actually. Okay, let me remove all these fields. So why should we need these fields? So I want to remove these guys. Just you are having a form with a name, email, mobile, only these guys. Okay, don't worry. Later we can make a very good form, but try to understand how we are going to validate the very basic form, guys. Refresh it, and if you can refresh the page, and you can see a form with the three fields, guys. Once you submit it, where you will go? You will go to the same page, right? Your form is ready. If you want, you can design it also. Now what is the next thing, guys? Here we need to enter the data. I mean, if you are not entering data, we have to validate it, right? So you are not entering anything and you are submitting it. On submit, the form is getting submitted, but you should validate if the form is empty. Then what we need to do, guys, here, for form, we have to define the validation rules, guys. How we can define the validation rules here? We can go and check this. Come to your controller. So this is the form you created. That form was loaded into controller. Once the form is submitted, we have to collect the data and we have to validate it now. So first of all, let me validate it. For validation, so we have to load the library, guys, to do validations. This of load of library. What is the library, guys? Here the library name is going to be form underscore validation. If you don't know, go through manual and try to know the validation name. So I mean library name. What is the library name? Form underscore validation. In this form validation library, once this is loaded, in this we have a method called setRules method. By using this setRules method, we can define the rules on an input field. But remember, when you create the form, what are the names of the input field? Can you see? Name of the input field is name here. This is going to be email, and this is going to be mobile. These fields are very, very important. So I told you, as part of the syntax, name, we have to pass name of the input field as well as the name of label for error message. Can you see what I written here? I believe, can you see name of the input field, label for displaying the error message, and rules here we have to pass, guys. So now on each and every text box, we have three text boxes, right? We have to write 3 times setRules method, guys. Can you see? Now I'm writing this off. Directly we are writing form underscore validation, form validation. Remember carefully, once the library is loaded, we have to call the method. That is the form validation of set underscore rules, guys. First, name of the input field, name only. What is the name of the input field? Go to the view if you have window. Name of the input field is name only. And label for error message. Just I'm writing name here. Try to see, just I'm writing name. You will understand. Wait for a minute. So what is exactly I provided here? Here you have to provide the rules, guys. Just I'm providing a rule called required. This required is predefined. Where this is defined in framework. If you can go through the manual, there we can understand, guys. Let me show you localhost/news. Go to the manual. There you can understand news. I mean, I just want to go to my user guide. Go to libraries here. Click on form validation. This is form validation library. And if you can bit move down, there is validation rules, guys. Rule reference will be there. This is the rule reference. Click on it at the bottom. Can you see? This is the rule reference. Required, matches, regular expression. All of you are requested to watch each and every rule, guys. Okay, this is very important thing. Try to watch each and every rule reference here. Clipping preferences, rule references, and everything was there inside of it. So these are the some rule references: is unique, min length, max length, exact length, greater than or equal to, numeric, alpha numeric, less than, in list, alpha. Can you see? All are decimal, is neutral. So a valid URL, valid email ID, valid emails, valid IP. Like this, we have a lot of rules in there. And try to watch each and every rule and all the things. You will get the clear idea, guys. Right? Okay. Now, because I already know, so I don't want to go for it here. Just I want to come down here. So here, let me define the validation rules. Go to this, and this is the set rules and required only. Later we can go for. Let me go for another, and all the three fields are going to be required. Next one is going to be the email input field. This is the mobile input field. So let me use some label name, something like this. This is email, right? Email. And this is going to be mobile, something like I given. Three mandatory parameters we passed. After defining the rules on each and every text box, then we have to check all these. Once you submitted the form, these rules we have to validate now. So if these rules are validated, if everything is okay, we have to get true. If anything wrong, it is going to return false, guys. How do I know all these rules are valid or not? To verify this, there is another method called run method. This is of form underscore validation. In this, there is a method called run method. Remember, what are all the rules you define here? In these three input fields, you define rule set. If all these are okay, this method returns true. I mean, valid data you entered. So this method returns true. Otherwise, this is going to return false, guys. I want to write one small condition. If run method equal to true, I mean, if everything is okay, then we can process the data. If anything wrong, what I need to do, guys, here. So I have to load the view to display the error message. See, that view should be loaded always inside this, guys. Now you can see I'm loading here. If everything is okay, I am writing a message all okay. Simply I'm writing all okay. Did you see? Earlier the view was outside. Now I moved the view to the else block of the run method. If anything wrong, so I have to display the validation rules now. Can you see? Initially form is not submitted. So when the form is not submitted, because these rules are not valid initially, after entering the data, then only these rules will work together. Now you can check this and refresh the page. Are you getting any messages? No. Submit this. Are you getting all okay? No. Why? Because you didn't enter any data. But at least you have to get the error messages now. Right. To display the error messages, remember carefully, we have to go to the view. In view, we have to write one predefined function. That function will carry the error messages, guys. What is that? Echo. There is a function called validation underscore errors. This is a predefined function. So by writing this function, remember, this is the predefined function. This will give you all the validation errors on the top of the page. Can you go and check this now? Earlier we submitted, we didn't get anything in the view page. Now you can submit it. Can you see? You are getting the name field is required, the email field is required, mobile field is required. So did you see this way this is coming? The name field, the email field, the mobile field, the second parameter of the set rules method. What is the parameter you provided here? Set rules method. There you can see the second parameter. So go to the controller. This is set rules, guys. Okay, if you want provide one more, I'm providing pipe symbol here. This is going to be valid underscore email, guys. Valid email. One more I'm providing. Okay, valid email. This is going to be numeric, numeric, numeric rule I'm applying. What is the meaning of it? Mobile number should be numeric. It should not contain any characters. So this is username, at least space min underscore length. Min length, I'm just providing you three, at least minimum 3 characters. Can you see now what happened? You are just providing the rule. You don't want to write any logic. This will taken care. Just apply the rule for the input field. Can you see? The error messages will come automatically. Earlier we didn't enter anything. Now I'm entering, guys. I'm entering just a TE, and this is a RAM, something like this. I'm entering some mobile number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, something like this. You can submit it. Can you see the error messages? The name field must be at least 3 characters in length. The email field must contain a valid email address. See how these error messages are coming. Are you writing any logic? No, the framework is taking care about these things. Just what is our duty? Just you have to know and how to pass the validation rule to the library, guys. Understand? Every message is coming. But unfortunately, what happened? Whatever the value we entered in the form, that value was gone, right? So you have to repopulate the value, right? See, for example, I'm entering the value TE, guys. Once you submitted, the TE was gone from the text box, but you're getting the error messages, no? But you have to repopulate the value into the text box, guys. To repopulate the value, what we have to do, guys, in the view file, we have to use one predefined thing, guys. Here, this is a view file, right? There is a value attribute. In this, we have to write echo. All of you see, this is the predefined method, set underscore value. We have to use the predefined set value of the name of the input. What is the name here? The same name you have to take here also. This is very important. Now, can you see what happened here? The value was gone earlier, right? Now, can you go and refresh the page? Now, the value was gone, guys. Can you see? Now, I'm entering TG. Now, submit it. If you can submit, can you see the value still there in this? It was not escaped, but earlier what happened? The value was escaped. So the value was escaped, still value is there. Now you can make it test. So now you can submit it. So there is no username error. You have error of email and mobile field, guys. Then what you can do, repeat the same. To repopulate the value, we have to use set value is a predefined method. Set value is a predefined method. So here what I need to take, here we have to take email. So here you have to take mobile, something like this, guys. This is going to be repopulate the value. Perfect. Right. Refresh the page now and you can check it now. Whatever the values you are going to enter now, test I entered some mobile and I am entering something else. Now you can submit. Everything is okay. Everything is okay. You are going to get all okay message. Did you see? You entered valid data and we got it right. Now can you see, I want to go for mobile number. Mobile number is numeric, but exact length, guys, I want to provide one more rule here. EXACT, exact underscore LENGTH, exact length, 10, exactly 10 digits only. That should be numeric only. Valid email ID and mid length. You want to make only alpha here. If you can write only alpha, then what happened here? You can accept only characters only, right? It is sometimes it may be alpha numeric also, right? Then what happened, guys? Here it may be the combination of both, guys. Now can you see, I'm refreshing the page and you can check it now, guys. Yes, guys. So now you can refresh the page and you can submit it. We are not entering anything. Submit the page. The name field is required, email field is required, mobile field is required, getting perfect. Now you are entering the name. I'm entering some RAM 123 only. You are entering the mobile number 123456789 some number you enter. But you can see the errors will be different now. The email field must contain a valid email address. Okay, let me enter a valid email address. Okay, now you can submit it again. You are getting the mobile field must exactly 10 characters in length. 10 characters are 10 numbers are. Okay, let me enter 10 characters here. So I'm going to enter 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. If you can submit it now, is it valid? Can you see the error message? The mobile number should contain only numbers only. It is not giving you the all the things, guys. It contain only the numbers, guys. Now what you have to enter? You have to enter the number 78978978990. Now you can submit it. Everything is valid and the data was posted to server. Now what we have to do here, guys? So here we have to collect the data that is entered by you and we have to send to database. Who will come into the picture here? A model should come here, right? So this is how we can define the validation rules on an input form field, guys. See what happened, sir. All error messages are displaying on the top of the page, sir. No, I don't want to display all error messages on the top of the page. In the view, error messages are where error messages are coming, guys. On top of the page, error messages are coming. I don't want to display on top of, sir. I have to display individual error messages. If you have name error, just beside the name and display this. If you have email error, just beside the email. And if you have mobile error, just display the error just beside the mobile number, guys. This is how we have to display the error messages. If you want to display all errors on the top of the page, we return validation underscore errors. That is a predefined method available in our library. So by writing this, all errors are displayed on the top of the page. Now you have to display individual error messages, right? If you want to display individual error messages, there is a predefined method called form underscore error, guys. What is the method we have? So to display individual error messages, form error. So in this form error, we have to pass the name of the input field. So name of the input field you have to pass. So this is the predefined method. Now what we need to do, guys, here? So we just need to pass the parameter to it. And now you can see what I'm going to do in the view file. I just commented all the validation errors. This method will catch all the errors and it is displaying it to the front end. Now what I'm doing here, for every input field, I have to display individual error message, right? Just besides this input field, I'm going to display the error message. Can you see? This is going to be echo form underscore error, individual error message. To this, we have to pass the name of the input field. What is the name of the input field? Name only. If you want, you can take this into a span. I'm taking something called it to span. Why I'm taking span? If you want to design this into a red color or green color, any color messages, that's the reason I'm taking this into a span, right? Then it is going to be easy for us. Now, one more thing is going to be email, guys. This is going to be email. and this is going to be, what is this guys? Next field is mobile, right? Okay, mobile. This is going to be mobile, right? So just you can write this. This is the individual error messages. Generally, some people may display all the errors on the top of the page, but some people may display the errors only a side of it, guys. Now, you just refresh the page and you can check it now. Earlier, error messages on the top of the page. Now, if we can submit, now can you see individual error messages? Okay, design not looks good. Don't worry, because we are using a table, right? That's why design is not good. But can you see email error, mobile error, all errors are coming automatically. Why? Because these error messages are displayed in a paragraph tag actually. If you can inspect this, by default, these error messages will come into paragraph tag. Did you see? This error message was in paragraph tag. Again, I taken span tag actually. Then if it is span tag is not required, by default, error messages will come into paragraph tag by default. Framework will append the paragraph tag. If you don't want, yes, we can. Don't worry about it. Right. So this is how we can display the individual error messages. See, I want to display my own error messages, guys. If you want to display your own error messages, what you need to do, guys, here, custom messages. For example, email required, name required, mobile required. These messages are coming automatically. Can you see? These messages are coming, the name field is required. Na? I don't want this kind of big message, guys. Name required only. What is the error message I want to display? Just name required, email required, mobile required. If you want to display your own error messages, see, I will show you for one field, guys. This is what exactly the second field I'm taking. So for the second validation, if you want to display your own messages, you have to add the fourth parameter as optional, guys. What is the thing? Fourth parameter is an optional. This is going to be an array. In this array, what is the rule you defined here? For this rule, you have to define a message. Can you see a required rule I'm taking? This should be an associative array. Try to see, guys. Required. For this required, what is the message you want to display? Just I want to display email required. REQY, email required. What is the one more rule you have? Valid email. So you can see now I'm going to take the same rule, copy paste the rule. Don't do spell mistakes. This is going to be valid email required. Valid email required. Can you see the error messages will be different now for this email field? Now can you go? This name field is required. Now you can submit the form. If you can submit, can you see simply your custom message is coming, email required. But did you see this is the name is required? The mobile field is required. Let me enter some invalid email ID test at something I entered, and you can submit it. Can you see what is the message? Valid email ID required. By default, this type of format is displayed by the framework. If you don't want to use the framework behavior, you want to use our own way of displaying error messages, then we can use the fourth parameter. So what is the fourth parameter? Is an associative array. This associative array contain what are the rules you defined here. Those rules will be as a key. For required, what is the rule what is the message you want to display? For valid email ID, what is the rule you want to display? Something like this we have to define. Can you see for this mobile number? For if you want to do for this mobile number also, you can go to this comma, put comma at the end of it, take it as an associative array, right? So in this associative array, take the key names, guys. Required rule, REQUY, for required, what is the message you want to display? Mobile required, mobile number required, REQUY. Understand? So what is the next thing? Numeric, right? So next thing is numeric. NUMERIC, numeric. For numeric, what is the message you want to display? So for numeric, what is the message? Mobile number should contains numbers only. Understand? Numbers only. Right. What is the exact length rule? If you want to go with exact length rule also, you can come down exact length. For this, mobile number should contain exactly 10 digits, guys. You can write your messages. Mobile number should contains exactly exactly 10 digits, right? Like this we can write our own messages. Do you see how we can customize the validation library here? Are you writing any logic here? No, you are not writing any logic. For this set rules method, you are just passing the rules which are given by the framework, guys. Just you can go now. Everything will be perfect now, guys. Can you see? Now if you can submit this, mobile number is required. But do you see this is the custom? The name field is required, the email field is required. I don't want. I want to add my own messages. Yes, we can add our own messages also like this, guys. This is how we can create the forms, and lot of forms you can create. And so you can create one more, take one more registration form. There you can take a password and confirm password. How can we match the password field and confirm password field? There is a rule in the rule reference. If you can observe, there is a rule called matches rule, guys. Where is this rule here? Rule reference. This is the rule reference. No? In this rule reference, we have something called matches rule. Can you see what exactly? The second rule may be the matches rule, I believe. Second or third one. Can you see? First is required. Second one is matches rule. Exactly. Return false. Can you see how to use also? They will give you an example here. If you can move right a bit, can you see example? Matches form item name that we have to pass here. You can use regular expressions also, but don't worry, slowly we will come here. Okay, so you don't worry about these things, guys. It will be a little bit confuses you. Try to watch the video and get some clarity how these things are going to be work together. Okay, fine. So this is how we can work with the form validations, guys, right? So next, in tomorrow's session, we are going to discuss about database connectivity and database configuration, how we can connect to database, how we can get data from database, how we are going to display them. So that we are going to see in tomorrow's session. It is all about database configuration. I think we discussed as of now, we worked with initially controllers of that views, of that models, of that helpers and libraries. Tomorrow, the database configuration. So by using all these things, libraries, models, helpers, controllers, and views, we are going to create applications, guys. Now, once database configuration is completed, we can work with the database. How can we get data? How can we insert data? For everything, there is a library. We are going to use it. We maximum, if you already done with core PHP, we have to write everything from our own end, right? So, but if there's a framework, half of the code was already written. For example, if I want to ask you to validate the email ID, mobile number, so just we written one line of code here with some rules and regulations. But if it is a own logic for validation of email, for validation of mobile number, you have to write a lot of lines of code now, right? So at least by just writing one line of code, we are validating the email ID, or we are validating the name, and we are restricting the length also. For length, we didn't write any logic. For required, we didn't write any logic. Just we are passing the rule to the set rules method. The set rules method will taken care about the validation. We don't worry about the things, guys. So here, after validating everything, here we have to collect the data and we have to save the data into database by using a model. That we will see later, don't worry. Tomorrow we are going to see anyhow database, right? Database connections, right? Thank you, guys. If you have any doubts, let me know.